Hey guys, Jake here. We are not at Pear Tree Ranch. We're in California, and this is Marie and Trooper. Marie's been a longtime friend and student, and we're getting ready for our week of teaching here, and we're on our lesson day, and she asked to do a Liberty lesson, and so I thought this would be fun to share. So I'm going to go sit in a chair in the shade over there, and she's going to work, and Bray Bray is here filming, so we're going to turn them loose and start there. And Marie is mic'd, so as her and I have a conversation, you guys will be able to hear. And so from here on out, I'll mostly be paying attention to Marie versus talking to the camera like normal videos. Go ahead and let's turn them loose. I would take the halter off, safety thing. There's not much in this round pen that could hang on, but there is a few things, and so he doesn't need it on, and it's much safer to take it off. Okay, and just head right to the middle, and I want to start where you're at. So you show me, if I wasn't here and you were going to play some Liberty, what would you do?
Okay.
Okay, and this is an important part for me to know where are you at so I can start there. And instead of changing and saying, you do my thing, I want to help you do your thing.
Okay.
Right? That's important to me. Then I can just be value added to what you're doing versus try to change everything, and then because it's so different, potentially it makes it not work, and that's way less fun.
Sorry to interrupt your video, but really quick, we want to make sure that you know all the juicy content, step-by-step how-to training guides, that's over on Patreon. So if you want, there's a 4-part trailer loading video series, that's on Patreon. You want the 7-part lead chain series, that's on Patreon. So get over there, get signed up, join us there, and let's get back to this video.
So for those watching, this is what we would call like a stick to me type game. Can the horse follow the human and stay at the shoulder? This is a gaited horse. So if he seems like he moves funny, it's just that he moves different. So what we had there is he started to disconnect, and you used the fence to kind of help him stay. Same as there. So now take a big step to your left. There you go. And then put a little pressure on his booty. And the reason we stepped there is to get out of the way so he could turn forward into us, versus if you step too much to the right and you use the stick, it kind of creates a block. Okay? Now, notice, Marie, all your footwork is currently forward and either forward and he should be following you, or you're going forward and towards him. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So right now you're going forward and away, and if he started to disconnect, you went forward and to him to reestablish the connection.
Okay.
Okay? What I would like to do is have you be more prepared to turn away from him and stay away from him. Okay? So if he disconnects, I need you to be ready on a diagonal line away to see if he can't draw.
Okay.
Okay? And as we go, he'll more than likely, as he kind of warms up, because this isn't like the first time you've ever done Liberty, he'll probably stick better and better and better. Okay? But in that process, if I'm more prepared, like right now, if I was going to make a move, I'd be careful to not step too far forward. I'd step on a 45-degree angle away from him to see if I can't have him be ready to draw towards me. Because see, as soon as you use the stick, he stepped away. So see how you're going towards him?
Okay.
Step away from him.
Step away from him.
That's
okay.
Towards him. Yeah, that's going forward into where he is. Yeah, that's forward and towards him. And as you went more to the left, it got more away, which helped. There's a better away line. Feel the difference? It was just that little bit more to the left. Not directly at the hip, more behind and away from him.
Okay.
And the reason we're doing that is not to influence the hip, actually. That's the way a lot of people got taught to use that idea. It's to get out of the way of the nose to make room for him to come. So the moments he disconnects, it's when you're using the stick. And when you use the stick, to him, that means disconnect versus just go forward. And he might feel like he can't go forward because of your personal space is in his way. Or he mentally might think it's too hard. Or it's worked enough times for him to go away. See how you're going towards him right there? See how you're going towards him? I need you to, there's better. Be ready to go away. See how your stick was so much at his nose that it over pushed him away. So you want to make sure that when you use your stick, step backwards and use it so that it brings, the stick brings him to you. Okay? So let's try again. Stick in your right hand. Good. You're going to step back with your left foot, back, and use the stick. There. And that turned him more forward and to you. Okay? Now, when you turned right there to walk forward again, backwards to your left. Backwards to your left, and then the stick. So now freeze. Walk to your right. Turn right. There. See how that moves you away from him and created draw?
Yep.
Now freeze. Look to me so you can see. I'm going to try to show you. Okay? Right, get where you can kind of see me if you can with the camera. What's happening is when he's on this line, okay, when you are here and backing away and you turn left, your belly button is slapping his nose and bumping him away.
Okay.
Okay. So the horse is coming here. When she backs and away, he's starting to come. But when she turns to walk forward, she's turning left more to put him back on her right side, and her belly button's slapping the nose, and it's accidentally bumping him away.
Okay.
Okay. So from there, step backwards with your left foot. Use the stick. No, freeze. You got to move slow enough so I can tell you what's next. Backwards. Yep, just keep on that line because I need to get you into open arena. Keep going backwards. Use the stick. Now turn right and walk towards Bray. There you go. That moved you away from him and gave him room to come without slapping his nose with your belly button. Okay?
Okay.
So now you can walk forward and over here by me to get where you can influence his bubble and get his attention. Get ready, steady, aha. Easy. See how you're going forward into his nose? Backwards and away. Better. So we're just tweaking your angles and lines here to have a little better invite so you don't accidentally have these little moments where you offend him and bump him away, and then you're working harder to get him to come with. Yes, 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 that's a good line. Use the stick, backwards and away with your left foot. Backwards and away with your left foot. There. Okay? Now, we're going to play with a different stick. Okay? And we're going to use the shushy stick. And the reason why is it can help you, because the stick is longer, it can help you stay away from him more.
Okay.
And also keep the stick where it can stay in the game and influence him while you stay back. For there's a lot of times the reason you're moving your feet forward into him is so you get in range of the stick. We're going to start with doing a little dance hand in hand so I can help you stay where I want you to be. And then I will hand it over for you. So we're going to do kind of together first. We're going to link arms here. We're going to step back and away. And with the longer stick, I can start to influence him on the outside and say, come here. There. And so it starts to show his resistance where he thinks he can pull with the outside of his face. So now we're backwards and away to use the stick. We have to get out of the way of his nose here to give him room. Now backwards and away. Use the stick. So now we got to get out of the way of over there so his nose can go forward. And then we also got to get in range to say, the stick said move. So see, as soon as I really kind of let the stick work, it tells on the resistance where he thinks he can not do what the stick says.
Yeah.
So we're just waiting to have a good position for the camera and for him to get backwards and away. That little bit livelier that we got his blood up is going to help us backwards and away. Good. Help us create a little hotter lava out there where it makes it a little sweeter here. Because you're managing by sneaking with the stick to not have him have to run away. So backwards and away. And I used the stick, said, come on, move wherever you're thinking about moving. That's what the stick means. Move wherever you're thinking about moving. Hi, handsome. Yeah. We're going to go backwards and away. I'm going to go over here to say, don't turn away from me. Don't turn away from me. He still pulled right, so he owes me a full turn left if I were keeping count. Backwards and away. Good boy. Backwards and away. Hi. Backwards and away. That way, he chases me. Now see, if I turn here, this can slap his nose away.
Okay.
Okay. So I got to be mindful of how I do that. If I step back here.
Yep. I see now.
And then turn, it can help. There, see? And then he sees the shoulder and comes. What happens with doing so much stick-to-me based liberty is they really don't learn the stick, and then we're constantly begging them to come.
Yes. And that's been the issue.
Yeah. And so I'm just going to go, well, do what you want. Do what you want. Do what you want. How's that working for you? And he's like, well, I'm out here running around. Yeah? And how does that make you feel? He goes, well, I'm kind of getting tired. Oh, weird. Okay. The stick says, do what you want. And go ahead and do it pretty hard. Be committed. So away. You can always tell where I'm going because I get my toes pointed there. Hi. No. We're starting to see a change where it's like, okay, maybe I got a shot now rubbing him with this stick, where he'll listen to it less as a startle and more as a guide. The shepherd's crook. It guides the flock and protects the flock, not, well, I'm going to go over here and go, hey, you are pulling right. Hey, you're pulling right. Hey, yield to your left. And by the way, that's lava out there. By the way, that's lava out there. Oh, hi. Moving away. To continue to give him room to come, that will build his confidence, and it puts the responsibility on him. I'm not going to chase. I'm going to just walk. You do what you want. You do what you want. Hiya. Hiya. Do your idea. And a little bit harder. There. See how he's pushing into that stick? There's one of those turns he owed me. Now, P.S., you still owe me that other turn. See, and he thinks he can be saucy to the stick instead of, sir, yes, sir, what's next, sir? The harder I do the stick, the harder he should say yes, sir. Versus, right now, the harder I'm doing it, it draws all that fuss out. That's different. So now I started to get the stick in play, and he's like, I'm going to try and say yes, sir. There. Now I'd like to spend more time rubbing him, less time shushing him. But see, he's choosing to act different by lowering his head, getting his nose and neck ready to do something thoughtful. So now I can say, hey, nose, neck, maybe the shoulder. Great job. By the way, I would not be out there if I were you. Nobody said run away. Backwards and away from him. Hi. So the more I use the stick, the more he should come. Now, the longer stick can influence him from further away. That can help him build some confidence. And it can start to build some control. I'm moving away, but I'm kind of getting in position to go, hey, I'm going to get ready. See, I'm still stepping backwards and away to get his attention. Hey, hey, I wouldn't be out there if I were you. Now, go where you're thinking. I'm trying to figure that out. There's a nice turn towards me. I'll get out of the way so he can turn towards me again. But he's just not thinking that hard about us. And I'm not going to beg him. You're the one getting tired, not me. Trooper duper. Super trooper. Handsome horse. Hi. Backwards and away. Backwards and away.
There you go.
Good boy. So see, we're getting more committed. Come hither. And we didn't beg for it. It's fine if you don't want me to rub you. I'll just get out of your way so you can come more. But he thinks he has a choice, which he does, to lean on that stick. He needs to never, never, ever, never, ever, never, never, ever, never, never, ever, never think that it's an option to lean on the stick. Hi. I'm going to move away from him. So he has room to come or not. See how he pushed into where I'm going and to where I shush the stick?
Yep.
So I'll just give him another chance to do it better. Away. See how you were moving backwards, but you were moving in the way of where he was going. Good. So big picture, I gotta. You don't need to fret about that traffic. That's what that stick just said there.
Yeah.
That move was he got startled by that truck.
Right.
I don't need him doing that while you're riding him this weekend, right? So I need to say, hey, you didn't need to do that. There. So now the stick meant come hither. I shushed. He was like, I'm trying to come. So we need better obedience and understanding of what does the stick mean.
Mm-hmm.
The stick just means run around. Backwards and away. That's nice. Backwards and away. And what I'm saying here, I'm getting in position to go, P.S. You've been coming consistently on that right arc. I'd like you to come on this left arc. There, like that. Because when I go to put this stick in position, he's peeling away. Now, technically, he should turn left. So now he owes me a whole nother turn again. Good boy. By the way, if he had a lead rope on, he'd be all spun up in that rope. So I just unspun him. I did a Liberty burpee. The old rope over the wither move. I just did a Liberty version of that. Good. Good. So I'm getting out of the way where he was meant to be. He's meant to be right over there and walking on that line towards us. If I had an invisible rope hooked to me and you, he needs to be following that rope. So now, hey, I wouldn't run by me if I were you. Hey, I wouldn't run by me if I were you. You should be following that invisible rope. It's right here, up to my butt cheeks. There. Now, I'll get out of the way again, because again, he was meant to be coming on this left arc. There. But see, he's running into where the stick was. Now he's all wrapped up in the rope again. So this is a horse that'll pull back when tied. This is a horse that will pull on the rope when we're doing groundwork. This is a horse that'll pull away on the rein if he gets startled. That move right there. He thinks he can. He thinks it's an option. We need to, liberty training is about proving to him that even without a rope, I can control you to go where I'd like, mentally. There. And I just keep moving away. Yeah. He's meant to be right over here.
Yeah.
Because the stick was here, and we're moving backwards and away. There. He's just running himself into that stick again. Hey, you're running into that stick. There.
Sort of.
He made the right turn.
Yes.
Well, technically left turn. He made the left turn. But see there? He's pulling away. I put the stick there. He should have turned off that stick on that right side and turned himself over here. Hey. Hey. See him just pulling away? Hey. Hey. You. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. I pulled on that. Look at him pull. Pulling on pressure and he's gonna get in trouble. Pulling on pressure and he's gonna get in trouble. But I made that a happy song, not like, I'll show him. Oh, that's your problem, man. And that sucks. Sucks to be you. Because the universe is going to set it up. There. Hey. I just keep moving away. So he has all this opportunity to follow. Catch, turn, face, follow.
Okay.
We got to catch his attention, get him where he's facing us, and then get him following us. He's so used to following at the shoulder, he only knows that one position, and he's not even all that committed to that position. It's, in my experience, better to get him following from here, because it's the hardest. Okay. And then I'll work on that shoulder position later on. Yeah, because he worked so long at that, I stayed quiet with the stick and didn't try to rub on him. Trying to help be, nice to him and give him a bit of a break here so he really feels good about, oh, finally I got the answer. Follow. But this stick has to be allowed to stay in position. And because he spends so long getting away with or having it work, leaning on the stick, he is thinking that it's an option. And it is an option. It just needs to be a crappy option. Here's an idea. Let's just not pay our taxes. You can get away with that for a few years. Worked for Wesley Snipes, didn't it? How'd that end up? Weird. Went to jail. Doesn't matter that you're a big famous movie star. Right? He gonna get you. They keep tabs. You still owe me $5 from when Subway footlong was $5. Okay? Keeping track of it, just like all those turns that he owes us. There. So now, can I do a little bit of the stick? Nose, neck. I got his attention, so I backed off. Thanks for acknowledging the stick and not having it mean run away. So he moved. Good. Now, I sure would like, if this was long enough, to say, come back to me. Nose, neck. The shoulders didn't come forward to me. See, even that's a backward step. There's a forward, almost. Nose, neck, shoulder. See, it turned into a way. So now that we're kind of flirting on the bubble, I'll do this little spot to get close enough. And this really should be something that's sorted out online. Oh, this stick is in your left eye. You need to turn to your right. And you should come hither. So I'm going to walk away to get into the spot. There. Now that he's stopped, see if I can't go get in position, because he's finally not running away so hard. So now I got to go away because my bubble bumped him. I got to go away to get out of his flight line. There. And I got ahead of his balance point, which turned him towards me. That's cow working, right? So now I get where I'll rub. Because he's slowed down, he's starting to tell me that that might be an option. Nose, neck. Tapping him behind the shoulder, so the shoulder should step a little bit forward. There. Nose, neck, shoulder. Easy. He pushes into that stick. He's got to go slow enough that he gives me time to correct him versus control him. If I can just correct him and go, hey, hey, that didn't mean that. I'm going backwards and away. I'm not gaining and getting any closer. I'm moving parallel. I got ahead of his balance point, which got him stopped. Now, I'll get over here and say, hey, hey. It's starting to be less of a reaction where he needs control and more of a there conversation. You can run if you want. Now I got to see how I got sucked in. I almost was chasing him. We all do it on accident. I got to go get away from him. And if I get ahead of the balance point, when he runs into me, it'll stop him. So now I got to go parallel. See how it changed? We bumped him. We don't want that. Me walking to you doesn't mean run away. Now, how many times has this horse crapped?
He hasn't.
Oh, that is so weird. So is he scared?
No.
No. He's just being naughty.
No. No.
He's not scared. He's just being naughty. He thinks he can.
Well, I think it's that this is what we've done and this is his pattern.
He thinks he can and he thinks he's supposed to.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what I hear you saying when we say that it's his pattern.
Yeah.
So now we had to create a new pattern. I'm not going to chase you. I'm going to get away from you to give you room to learn confidence and turn, face, follow. And I'm going to teach you I can control you with my stick to say, get over here. Okay? That's what we're finally starting to do. We're kind of back to teaching. I did control. That doesn't mean that. No is a control phase. No, that doesn't mean that. Now I'm finally going, okay, the stick right here, when I move backwards and away, just means come to me. Okay? The stick over here just means turn back towards me.
Yes.
No.
Should mean that.
Right? Yeah, and that's where we're kind of teaching. So I got to finally quietly, or a lot quieter, say, no, I wouldn't be doing that. That caused the turn and face, which got him back. The control phase should get him to just stop and reconnect. Parallel to get in position, not close distance. Not close distance. Now that he stopped, I can readdress my position to say, there, from the outside eye, that's control. Steer him to from the outside. The stallion rides around the outside of the herd and wheels the herd. Dun, 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 dun. Right? Man from Snowy River at the end, he has to ride around the stallion and the herd. There, see that?
Mm-hmm.
Now the shushy meant turn, face, and follow for a step. And then he let me go back to this. That was a teaching. Da, 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 da. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Steady progressive pressure is how we do in the teaching stage of development versus immediately effective. That's control phase, just to stop him. There we are. So now I can use the stick to guide him to us. Hi, beautiful. I know you're a super trooper. Without it causing a disconnect pattern or behavior, because it's not fear-based. He'd be crapping all over himself if he really was that scared. It just triggers a poor pattern, a yucky pattern that we don't want. Disconnect, run away, because he thinks it's going to work for him. Now he's showing off all the things he does know. He's like, I know sideways to you. And I'm just going to smile and say, that's great. I don't need to tell him not to do that.
Right.
He was thinking a positive behavior. Thank you. I would just change. So we gave Marie a chance to do pet, pet. Now I'm going to change the position of this so it turns his nose. So then we're on the other eye. Hi. Hi, BB. Now Uncle Jake does pet, pet, pet. So now the stick is causing more connect, less disconnect. So even there, when he shushed it with his tail and it shushed, it just brought him forward and to us. So it's amplifying the behavior we want. And it's then able to help shape the behavior that we want. So now I'm going to shape him to come around me to the right. I got to push him a little bit left. There. I'm going to move away. That helps give him room. And then this can come around to say, hey, come in. It herds him back to me. That way the pressure's out there. So the hot lava's away versus towards me. Again, I'll just change my angle, get this up here by the nose till it comes. See, I'm having to make sure I don't walk too fast for Marie. There. So he changes eyes. Okay?
Yeah.
So we had to play long enough in the right positions with the right timing till he
had to figure it out.
had to figure it out and understood stick doesn't mean run away. Stick means connect and then let it guide me. Okay, so now I'm going to give you the chance to do it. I'm going to see if I can't step away. You step in front and rub him. He was a little bit connected to me there. And I don't want to draw him away from you. And all I'm looking for is that you can walk backwards away and use that stick to bring him to you from behind and turn him into you from the outside. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. And you can take as long as you need right there to just canoodle and pet on him and feed him a little alfalfa treat, all the things. Because now when we give him the treat, it's amplifying the positive behaviors that he worked a lot harder for. If we'd gone to the treats too soon, it's just bribing because of the way he was acting. It's like, please don't run away. Now it's like, what a great horse. And did you know, I've got this for you when you stay here. Not stay here because I've got this. We don't want to use that. Yes, yes, yes. Super. Now you'll move the tip of the stick way in front of his eye so that he changes eyes. Yes, 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 yes. And then backwards and away. Yes, and then draw the eye to you. Yes, 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 yes. From the outside. Beautiful. And then with these sticks, you just got to be really careful that you don't get it in the dirt, the tip, and that you don't bang it on the fence. Very easy to do with these long ones. Yes. Yes, see how she changed her angle to draw the nose a bit more? Because he knows sideways towards and he thinks that's it. But I want him to draw that eye and change. There, so he sees you in the other eye. That'll keep having him be prepared to come straight.
Okay.
Super. And then I would just stand in the middle and feed him cookies. What's our ticker at there, Bray Bray? 34? Good. We're going to sit here and feed him a few treats and just let that continue to run the meter. See how you put the tip in the dirt? Yep, just keep it up. There you go. Really easy to do. Everybody does it. But it'll just snap it right off. We got to let the meter run here on what a good horse, 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 what a good horse. We had spent so long saying, I wouldn't be doing that if I were you. We didn't get sucked into quit it, stop it, no bad words, all that stuff. We just said, well, I wouldn't be doing that if I were you. You could do, Simon said, stay by the human. And he just kept kind of getting disqualified from the game. He wasn't winning the game. But we played till he did win. Now we need to make sure that the prize was worth the effort. So we're going to stay here for a little bit. Then what I want you to do is you're going to guide him on a more of a circle.
Okay.
Okay? You're going to make sure that when you do, you step backwards and away. So with the stick in your right hand, your left foot. Now put the tip down on the inside. Okay? Put the tip down and on the inside. So behind his butt. Marie,
What?
put the tip down and on the inside. See how that's the outside? There, now push him around on a circle. There, like that. Now, if he were to start to disconnect, put it over in the outside eye and bring his nose to you till he changes eyes. Nope, till he changes eyes.
There.
He didn't change eye yet. He's still on the left eye. So put it on the outside by the front till he changes eyes. Step further backwards away from him. You got to give yourself room and get the stick in front of his nose now. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Put the stick in front of his nose. See how that's not in front of his nose yet? The physical stick. Put the physical stick in front of his nose. The part connected to your hand.
I guess I'm not understanding.
See how now it's in front of his nose? Put the stick in front of his nose.
In front of his nose.
Just do it.
Okay.
Okay. But out in a horizontal plane. Good. Now put the tip on the far side. There.
Oh.
Now have him change eyes where he's looking at you with the right eye. There. Now push him around on a circle from behind. Backing away. Put the stick over his back and bring him to you from the outside.
I'm not.
Parallel to your right. There you go. Now go up there, rub him with the stick. Because he's looking for guidance now. Bring him forward and to you. Forward and to you. Not sideways. Forward and to you. There. Now put the stick. Push him on a circle. Push him on a circle. Now put the tip in front of his eye and bring him forward and to you. Straight, not sideways.
I'm just not getting what you're saying.
Okay? This is where we have to be good at using our words like what Marie just said and go, there's lack of understanding. Okay?
So, show me what you're...
Yeah, you're doing great. We're going to go back to here. So stick pushes him forward and around on a circle. Comes over his back to the outside eye till he changes eyes. Because
Okay.
he's...
Okay.
If you never did sideways towards you again with this horse, it would be too soon. That make sense?
Yeah.
Like you've done that so much that it's a negative behavior now.
Okay.
So it needs to push him around on a circle. See how he's ready to change eyes? Well, I'll just get out of the way and allow him. Push him around on a circle. Bring it to the front until he changes eyes, not sideways. In front of his nose, you can go under the chin,
Okay. All right.
even, and say, hey, change eyes. But this. Because he's not ready to come with the nose. He's ready to run us over with the shoulder. or be dominant with his nose and take it wherever he wants. See how I did block, 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 block? I couldn't have done that half an hour ago. Now, by the way, push your butt forward and around. You're going to be ready to get out of the way so he feels like he can come forward. And the outside eye, turn in. So I controlled the nose there and said, hey. Forward and around. But see how when I said for forward, it didn't mean disconnect your nose. He turned and looked at me. That's the change that kind of needed to happen. We'll go up and over. Now, from this side, if I tap him and say forward, does it mean disconnect with your nose? No, it did not. He kept his nose on us. If I ask him to go forward and around us in this horizontal plane, there, he's going forward, but he hasn't disconnected with his nose. So then I can just take it up and over. Can you go forward and around us? And forward didn't mean disconnect with the nose.
Yeah.
You rub on him. It's very important that we as the human have a good, clear mental picture. That's where I asked, can you hear me? Yes, I can. Okay, now I know the answer is we're not having a clear mental picture. Okay, give it a chance to soak in. Can I say it a few more times? Can I change how I said it? No, I cannot. Picture's worth 1,000 words. Use demonstration to clarify the meaning of my words. Oh, I know what to do now. Okay, so now can you replicate what I just did there? Push him forward and around. There you go. You're going to be ready to step. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, yes, yes. See how I don't have to say anything but yes, because she's correct. Now up and over. Change the eye. Perfect. Easy, easy, easy. Take your time, take your time. Softly, softly, softly. Softly on the butt. Because he has to step forward and bring the nose. Here it comes. Here comes the nose. Take your time. There comes the nose. And then rub him. So now when the stick pushes him forward and around us, it doesn't mean disconnect. When the stick needs to help him with guidance of bringing him back, putting the hot lava out and away from us, because we are able to do that with a longer stick. Okay. And that created relief by him turning towards us. We're able to have a conversation about going and woeing and turning. Easy, easy, easy. Super. See, and then when he started to disconnect, he went, wait a minute, the answer is connect. Easy with that left hand. Don't point, just push with the stick. If you bring that left hand up now, it'll disconnect his nose. It'll block him. There. Just step backwards, put the stick straight up in the air and rub on him, and we would quit there. Yeah, and I'd feed him all the little pellets because he did so good. Now we have where we can have a conversation. The stick doesn't mean disconnect, and we can use the stick for conversation and control. And he wasn't getting bothered. We clarified, in my opinion, he never was afraid here. He was bothered by the flag and by the sound and by the sight of me with that long stick. Okay. But now the bother went away, and him bothered, well, I just will disconnect. He wasn't, run away, I'm dying. He'd have been crapping and doing more, in my opinion, if it was real fear. Good. Okay, what did you learn, Marie? What did you learn?
Well, I learned that I really didn't have much of a connection.
Yep. And it's not fair to say that because this horse loves you. You do a lot of great things and you do have a good connection. But it was easy to come to, this is not your normal home. You haven't been here for a bit, right? It's been a few years off that you haven't made it to one of these events here. Okay, so Marie's been coming to this for years, plural. Lots of great stuff. Last few years, she hasn't been here. She's done a little less traveling to here, but still lots of clinics. Okay, so you can have environmental disconnect. You can have situational. Well, if you're not doing a ton of liberty and liberty you have been doing has just meant disconnect, all those things start to contribute, and it makes it seem like the connection is worse than it is, because I do think you have good connection with this horse. And if anything, it's the stick, the tool was causing the disconnect,
Well,
and a little bit of your footwork.
Yeah, and it's this process is different with the away and stepping away and towards the hind versus driving the hind to draw the nose.
Yes.
Which is what we've been doing.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
not wrong. Not a wrong idea. Just this sequentially, this kind of needs to happen first. It'll
And
make what you're
doing
I've been easier.
wanting to get his draw stronger, and I think that this is a good way to
Oh yeah,
to do that.
for sure.
Yeah.
And you had the right idea playing the stick to me that we're moving away, but it's still easy when we do that to have our belly button create a block, which still is accidentally driving them away, versus when the belly button becomes a vacuum, a suction, a magnet to draw them. And that takes care of that for the human, because we have to learn how to control it and flip the polarity of that belly button. It's no longer a negative, it's a positive, and creating magnetism, okay, or reversing the flow on a vacuum from blow to suck. It was going the wrong way. It's not meant to be a leaf blower. It's meant to be a vacuum. Any questions from your lesson?
Yeah, where can I get one of these?
Okay, so the Amazon sticks. Gocher is the brand, and that is the Seeker model, the carbon fiber with the gold, and you can get them in a 2-pack and with 2 replacement tips. So here's a good horse guy offering something that you can buy that I get 0 benefit from. Okay, I get no money from said sale. It's just a cool tool that I've found a good resource for, and it'll cost you about 30 bucks for the 2-pack. Okay, Goture. Gocher. Maybe one of these days I'll be not so busy that I get them where they're, say, Pear Tree Ranch super duper awesome shushy stick or something on there. But for now, I don't need to sell stuff. It already exists and is out there.
So is that where you would quit?
That is where I would quit. That's a huge change, and from where he started to where he got, I would quit it, and it would be something that you could bring him back out again later. What's the ticker at? 47. So that's a good lesson, almost an hour. But I would bring him out again, and just the number of times a day that this is the thing, we got to run the meter on, 30 minutes of this was stop pulling and fussing and, saying no to my stick. Only, 15 minutes of it was him behaving. So technically we owe him still 15 minutes of him being a good horse for that stick to get back to 0. That's just 0. That's not even in the positive. Okay, he still owes us money. And that's when we kind of do training by the math like that. We got to just keep track. You got to a good stopping point, but they acted like a partner for 1 minute versus this many minutes of not acting like a partner. It doesn't balance the scales.
Yeah.
Doesn't balance the scales.
Okay.
We do need to keep the scales balanced. You owe me XYZ, to keep our partnership in balance. If you and me are friends, but I'm always the one buying you lunch, that's going to wear. And all of a sudden it's going to come out one day. I'm like, yeah, dang it, why am I, and all of a sudden I'm upset. We let that stuff go too long. Versus when it's in balance, it's easy for everybody to maintain, happy. Mutual responsibilities in any relationship or partnership.
Okay.
Great job. Okay. So here we are sitting in the shade, enjoying more lessons here in Etna, California. Hope you guys enjoyed that session and getting to see Marie and Super Trooper go from something to really something working with her Liberty. All right, I'm Jake. We're not at Pear Tree Ranch, and we'll see you next time.